wisdom teachers, gentle healers, and bold leaders of our global awakening. Welcome to the Joshua Jordan Experience. Listen to gather mystical insights for an extraordinary life. Hello, my beloved friends. Welcome once again to the Joshua Jordan Experience. It is my joy to have you here. Thank you so much for tuning in. You know, in general, I like to be very positive, optimistic, and focus on how we can improve and what we can change for the better. And yet today, Joshua has said it's all right for us to go ahead and talk to you about what's really present right now, particularly in the United States. If you tune into the energy all around you right now in the United States, you will find, those of you who are empathic, you will feel it. There's a great deal of anger, agitation, frustration, anger. And you see, all of these are just words for fear. Fear is running rampant in the United States at this time because there's a great deal of uncertainty about what awaits us. We recently went through a transition in the head of our government in this country. As you know, that means the President of the United States, Joe Biden, has been replaced with Donald Trump. This is the second time Donald Trump has been President of the United States. And during his first administration, he actually caused a lot of problems and damage. And the truth is, it was a very chaotic time for about 4 years. And when he left office, he continued to create chaos and promote a lie on our political stage, saying that he had actually won the election in 2020 when there is absolutely no proof of that. He just kept telling this lie over and over and saying he would produce proof, but never did. Nonetheless, the people of the United States saw fit to vote him back into office, thinking it would be a change from what Joe Biden was providing. So, right now, we are in a time of uncertainty. And Mr. Trump, it's difficult for me to call him president, Mr. Trump and his friend Elon Musk are doing things in our country that are illegal and unconstitutional. And the law enforcement of this country is not moving fast enough to keep up with this pace of lawlessness and outright breaking our constitutional republic. So this is causing a great deal of thrash in the United States. And I have asked Joshua, what does this mean? What does this mean for the United States? And he assures me that everything is happening as it was chosen, as it is designed for us to experience at this time. So, I want you to recognize that if you tune in within and you feel anger, frustration, distrust, mistrust, hatred, fear, you see, all of those emotions are fed by fear. Fear is actually the source of hate. You see, it is the fear of others that will cause us to retreat and to find things we judge about them to be wrong. And we may actually feel ourselves expressing this deep disgust and dislike and fear of what is going on. So during this time, I do want to remind you, citizens of the United States and global citizens, please join us in praying for the highest and best good, not just for the United States, but for the world. We pray for the highest and best good. And if humankind must go through some dark night of the soul experience as a collective to start fresh and begin again, start fresh and begin to treat one another with love and respect, then we will go through what we need to go through to learn the lessons we need to learn to change our way of life. So, as a collective, our country will go through the same types of lessons that we go through as individuals. I too have felt the frustration. I have opened myself up to the energies around about me in my country right now. And it causes me a lot of discomfort, a great deal of discomfort. It takes away my peace of mind. And yet I know that in the pool of mass consciousness, in the quantum field, there is always access to peace of mind. There is always unquenching, unconditional love available to us, to me, in the mass consciousness. And if you are struggling right now with staying connected to your whole self by staying connected to your compassion and your inner peace, it is understandable. And that is when you might want to schedule for yourself a retreat of sorts, a staycation, if you will. I mean, you don't have to leave home to take this retreat. You can set up a weekend or just a day on a weekend to retreat within, replenish your peace of mind, balance yourself in the stability of compassion, and you can calm yourself and regain your stability and practice, if you can, forgiveness. So, there is a part of myself right now that gets triggered, and I'll say, "Oh, I that," you know, and I find myself expressing how I feel. It is how I feel, and I'm letting it pass through me. And yet, I do not want those types of feelings to become dominant or prevalent in my energy field because I prefer to put out an energy of peace, love, calm. So, in order to do that at this time, I actually do need to retreat some from the collective consciousness around my country, my state. And I need to just spend some time in the presence of unconditional love. In other words, for me, that is the source of all that is, which other people call God. Whatever you call it doesn't matter. Just sit with the unconditional love of your Creator and let that fill you, at least for a day, perhaps for a weekend, refilling and replenishing your supplies so that as you go about your day, as you move about in society, you are able to project love and peace and a sense of we're all in this together. We're all going through this together. And the more patient and loving we can be with each other, the better. So I'm going to keep this presentation very brief. I do want to say I'm not oblivious to the energies that are flowing in the United States right now. And at the same time, I want to be a source for you, someone you can turn to, who is a voice of calm and peace and trust. And I know that as uncomfortable as it might get for me in my country, we are all going through this for a purpose, a reason. And I will step aside now to the best of my ability and let Joshua speak to you. Hello, beloved one. It is my joy and my honor to have this moment with you. Thank you so much for your attention. Now, Jordan is speaking of something that is very important, for truly the process that humans are going through on the planet at this time does involve some discomfort and sputtering attempts to hold on to old ways and to frighten people into behaving in ways that actually cause more division and failure. Although the ones in charge think they know what is best for you and how to fix your country. And believe me, the United States is one country that has a great influence on the world stage. So the collapse of the United States will be felt globally. That is true. And perhaps the people of the United States will be able to pull back from the brink of total collapse and salvage some of their democratic republic. And yet it looks like it is going to be damaged to the extent that it will take time to repair and rebuild. One day there will be a new United States of America with a modern constitution, and it will again, once again, stand for democracy in the world. Of course, you know that I recognize the United States has never been perfect or perfectly lived up to its goals. I am aware that the United States has been a bad actor on the global stage sometimes. I am not oblivious to this. And I am aware that the United States of America was very much like a juvenile, a teenager trying to run the household. And you know, when that happens, there is chaos. So, as this transition occurs in the United States, a new country will emerge, and its global citizenship will be much more honest, much more transparent. So, sometimes they say the darkest hour is before the dawn, and that right now there is a lot of thrash happening as the transition from one era to another is unfolding. The old ways of power over, of humans trying to have power over one another, or governments having power over each other, you see, is going to absolutely fade away. Whereas there will become more of a unity of nations on earth acting in cooperation. So, all of this is happening for an exquisite purpose. I am telling you, there is a new day dawning and it is on the horizon. It's right out there. And those of you born into this world at this time, those of you who conscious I mean, Jordan wasn't born yesterday by any means, but he is consciously participating in the unfoldment of a new way of humankind living with one another on this planet and living with all species in harmony. And that includes all that you think of in nature, all of it, the earth herself and everything that creates her body will be in harmony and alignment with humankind and animal species of every type, so that the symbiotic relationship will flourish. I thank you so much for your time and attention, and I wish you a good day. Thank you for listening. We hope you heard something to ponder and gained inspiration for your journey. Please join us again next time. Joshua says, let the light grow, let love show, and let your life be fun.